Kenner was looking to do 15 figures for the 1983 Return of the Jedi action figure line. Some of them came out, some of them didn't. Let's take a look. Welcome back to the Junkman, everybody. It's me, the Junkman, coming back at you with a whole new video. In fact, you're going to see two videos all about the same time. So, after you watch this one, watch the new one. We're going to look at this Kenner production list released on March 23rd, 1982. This was a list of 15 characters Kenner was working on or thinking about doing for their first Return of the Jedi action figure line. Now, like I said in the teaser of this video, some of these did get released, but I thought it would be kind of interesting to look at the list of maybe some figures that we didn't get and see what they were toying with. And there's two on here that did get released that kind of surprised me that they were thinking about releasing so early. Let's just look at the list. Number 1, Luke Jedi. It says here that the character is 5 feet 8 inches tall. Guess that's how tall Mark Hamill is. And the toy is going to be 3.85 inches. Of course, this is the Luke Jedi figure. We all know that. And it's no brainer they would release this one. I mean, it was probably the most popular one, or the one they knew from start. They had to make that one. Number 2 on the list is Leia BH. She's 5 inches tall, and the figure height was going to be 3.53 inches. Leia BH. I'm pretty sure this means bounty hunter. The Leia Bosch figure that we got. One of my favorite figures there is, especially when it comes to Princess Leia. I love this figure, and it was like getting 2 figures in one. You could be a bounty hunter Bosch, remove the helmet, and you had a Leia action figure. And I just love anything with a helmet, but I've always enjoyed this figure, even when I was a kid. Number 3, coming in at 5 feet 8 inches, Demonian Guard. The figure was going to be, 3.85, the standard size of figures. But this is no brainer here. This did get released in Series 1 as planned. So let's go on to number 4, Low Gray, an Ewok. Now, I'm always surprised that Wicket wasn't their first choice. I don't know what took them so long to do Wicket. It's the most popular Ewok. When people think Ewoks, it's the one Wicket. He's the Ewok. But here they thought Low Gray. He's 3.6 inches. The figure was to be 2.97. Number 5, Imperial Guard, which is odd they would have this on the list before the Emperor. The Emperor's not even on the list, and it didn't come out in Series 1. So it's surprising that they was thinking of doing Imperial Guard before they even was planning to make an Imperial figure. And his height is 6 feet tall, and the figure 3.9. So the figure is going to be that figure is a little taller than your standard figure. Number 6 is interesting. Rocket Rider. Rocket Rider. Who is Rocket Rider? Well, I mean, I don't know for sure, but my guess is this was a biker scout. Guess they didn't have a name for him, and they called him a Rocket Rider. I guess because the spear bike is kind of like a rocket, and he rides it. The character is 6 feet tall, and the character is 6 feet tall, with the toy being 3.9. I don't think it is 3.9. I mean, this is about the same as every other standard figure. Give a few inches, so it might be. Number 7. I say Nignum, but I know it's Nignum or something. But when I was little, we all say Nignum, so it's just a hard habit to break. So go ahead in the comments, tell me how stupid and what a hick I am because I say it wrong. That character is 5'10", and the figure was going to be 3.87. Actually, it's broken down to 3.875. Nignum, another figure they did release. I can't remember. I was thinking this was Series 2. Maybe it was Series 1. Let me check it real quick. I know y'all love when I sit here and check my notes here. And yes, Nignum was part of that original first series of Return of the Jedi. So that figure did get released on time. Next, Chief Chirper. 4 feet tall and 1 inch. The figure, 2.75. This is again an Ewok. Again, blows my mind why you would have these two Ewoks come first, which they did come first, without a Wicket. It made no sense at all. Number 9, 6 feet tall, Squid Head. And as you all know, we got Squid Head. Nothing unusual there. Number 11, I'm going to come back to it. Number 12. This one surprised me. Imperial Dignitary. Yeah. From the Power of the Force line. In 1982, they planned to do Imperial Dignitary. I thought by the Power of the Force line, Imperial Dignitary was just, they was running out of things to make, so they just made it. But it seems even before the movie came out, they were thinking of doing Imperial Dignitary. And he's 6 foot tall, and the figure would be 3.9. Is that surprising to you guys? Because it just, I mean, that blew my mind. I was like, whoa, Imperial Dignitary was on the plans that early, 1982? I don't know why. And again, this was before an Emperor figure. So they was going to do a guard, an Imperial Dignitary, but they still had no plans at this time for the Emperor. This is just a guess here. I'm hoping maybe Lucas didn't want him to do Wicket or the Emperor until the movie was already out or something. Because you know they blocked out those 2 Ewoks. Maybe they didn't want to do the Emperor or the Wicket or something until later in the line. And that's why he's not on this list. Let me see when the Emperor did come out. Yeah, the Emperor came out in Series 2 as a giveaway first in 83. I think I skipped around. Number 10, Lando. No surprise here. It doesn't say what Lando it is, but let me check my notes again. Lando Skiff Guard was released in that Series 1. I mean, it only could be the Lando General that was Power of the Force, but I'm pretty sure they mean the Skiff one here. Number 13. Now here's one that didn't make the final cut. And I don't even know what they're talking about here. Maybe you do. Sorry about that. Some technical difficulties there. Where are we at? Number 13. And this is one that didn't make it into a figure. And this one never got made at all. I'm not even sure what figure they're talking about here. Rebel Dignitary. Do they mean General Medine? Or maybe plans for a Mon Mothma? I don't know who Rebel Dignitary is. I've always heard of the Imperial Dignitary, but I've never heard of a Rebel Dignitary. Now, in that first series was the Rebel Commando, but I'm sure that's not a dignitary. Whoever it was 6 foot tall, so it makes me think it wasn't Mon Mothma. General and the actual figure size is 3.9. So it's it's a little taller than a Luke Skywalker figure, a Demonian Guard, Imperial Guard. A little bit taller, which is kind of odd. If it was General Medine, you'd think it would have been 3.85. So y'all let me know in the comments below what y'all think who Rebel Dignitary was supposed to be. Number 4. Sure, I'm going to pronounce this name wrong, so go ahead in the comments, tell me what a goof I am. Hermie Odle, O-D-L-E. Now, I know this figure. I know the alien. They did make this in either the late 90s or early 2000s by Hasbro. But I didn't know until I saw this list that they was actually planning this for Return of the Jedi Series 1. I would have loved to see what this figure looked like. But apparently, it didn't get more than this list here. They never made a prototype or anything. But he was 6 foot 6 inches tall. And the figure would have been 4.36. Which is kind of odd, isn't it? That the figure is taller than Luke Skywalker. That would have made it the tallest figure of the line, at least for Return of the Jedi. And number 15 surprised me also. Yak Face. Can you believe in 1982 they were thinking of doing Yak Face that far back? Yeah, I couldn't believe it either. I don't know what took them so long. Now I've heard people say that Yak Face was going to be the melloway figure leading into Series 2 of Power of the Force, but I did a video debunking that, and you can check that out. I'll try to put a link at the end of this video in one of the boxes. But did you know they were planning to do Yak Face that early on? Now, I think there were, I don't know if it got filmed or was in the script, there was going to be a scene with Yak Face fighting Reese, and maybe that's the reason, early on they thought that was going to be in the movie, so why not make that alien? Reese isn't on this list here, but he did get released. Not really sure. I was just surprised that Yak Face, who stood 7 foot tall, and the figure would have been 4.7. Even bigger than the other guy that I said would have been the biggest in the line by just a little bit. But Yak Face. Yeah, the Power of the Force figure Yak Face. The famous rare Yak Face almost got released in 1983. That's surprising to me. That's surprising. And Okay, there was a plan for Ryes, but he's not on the list. Number 16, but it's just listed as there's no height for Ryes yet. So they didn't know how tall Ryes was. Wasn't determined by Lucasfilm yet. Sorry about that. So 15, really 16 figures counting Ryes of what could have got released in 1983. Now there was one I left off here. Number 11, Claytu. But it doesn't say Claytu. It says Wolf. Woof, 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 woof. With 2 O's. And that's going to be my next video, releasing about the same time as this one. So, head on over if you hadn't watched it yet, and find out the deal with Woof. Why does it have 2 O's? Why does it have 3 O's? Why do they call Claytu Woof? Let's talk about that in the next video. And as always, comment in this one. Let me know what you think about some of these figures we didn't get, or maybe who the Rebel Dignitary is. And as always, thumb up so you like my content, subscribe to the channel, and you better believe it, we'll talk again soon.
Junkman.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.